welcome to SVG-TV's news for Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. A shooting incident in Langley Park, Mount Bentic area of Georgetown today left one man dead. The deceased has been identified as Dave Sutton of the same address. At the crime scene today, officer in charge of the Eastern Division, Superintendent Harrison Ballantyne, spoke to SVG-TV News about the incident.
What I can say is that the Georgetown police received a report of a shooting incident in the Bay Road area. The police responded, and on the scene was met the motionless body of a male. And
in a Facebook post hours after the shooting incident, opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday said it is another senseless murder in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I've just learned that there's been another killing in this country, this time in Georgetown. Another family this morning, another person is lost. Another senseless killing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Violent crime in this country is out of hand. Last year we had 42 homicides. A record. This year we are on target to break that record. And then we have a Prime Minister who is blaming everybody else for crime, violent crime, and the causes of crime in this country, and not taking responsibility to deal with the problem, to provide the resources for the police, to provide confidence, conditions that inspire confidence in the criminal justice system, to create conditions where people feel that they have hope in this country, to create a broad-based coalition against crime where everybody feels that they are part of the solution. This is simply unacceptable, and the government is failing the people in this regard and must hold them accountable.
Luther Jackson, a 41-year-old contractor of New Prospect, is assisting the police with their investigation into the circumstances surrounding the tragic vehicular accident that occurred in Georgetown around 12:35 a.m. on Saturday, April 22nd, 2023, which resulted in the death of Mal Brown, a 55-year-old clerk of Georgetown. Brown was struck by motor vehicle PW510, a blue Lexus owned by Arlington Jackson of New Prospect, United Kingdom, and driven by Luther Jackson, who was traveling from Montreal to Raboka. Brown sustained multiple injuries to her body and was transported to the Georgetown Medical Center, where she was subsequently pronounced dead. A post-mortem examination was expected to be carried out on the body of the deceased today to ascertain the exact cause of death. Persons with information that can help with this investigation are encouraged to contact the officer in charge of the Eastern Division at 458-6229 or any police officer or police station you are comfortable speaking with. The police say all information received will be treated confidentially. The family of 18-year-old Jaquan Samuel of Pruvianville is struggling to come to grips with his death. Jaquan reportedly went to the Pruvianville beach with relatives last Sunday. He allegedly encountered difficulties at sea and was assisted by fishermen who brought him ashore unconscious. In an interview with SVG-TV News today, Jaquan's aunt Evelyn McCain and his cousin Camelia Sam McMillan recalled their last moments with him.
Jaquan just got shot when I went down on the beach, and I said, there was thing for him to sing up the water, and he said, so I hold on his hand, I said, Jaquan, please, don't go, come back, I want. And he said, like that, and from that, when my pressure go up, so Asha and my sister-in-law, they was inside because they sent me outside to relax. And while I there, I hear my sister in the hall coming out. I said, no, that's Jaquan. Jaquan candidate. So I said, is Jaquan there? She said, yes. I can't believe that Jaquan. I was looking forward to see because Jaquan is so tall. I was looking forward that when I get old, because sometimes I thought them that Jaquan could not be able to, because he would have lift me up from where to help Asha to lift me up when I get older. And there is no more Jaquan. And the things Jaquan called me Sunday, and I and Jaquan chat. And we always say to one another that we love one another, but I did not tell him that day because I never knew that Jaquan was going first. I love Jaquan. I really do love Jaquan.
I was in church when I got a call from a very good friend of mine. And she called to say that Jaquan experienced difficulty while swimming and they were getting a small pulse. So that gave me a little bit of hope. And when we got to, well, by the time I got there, the police they were already on the scene. They took him away to Levi Latham, that's in Mesopotamia, and from there they took him to Kingston, and we followed the ambulance to Kingston. When we got to Kingston, the doctors worked feverishly. They, as soon as he got there, they worked. So I must say thanks to the doctors and nurses at the hospital. They worked on him for about 30 to 35 minutes, and the pulse that they were getting, it just went away. And the doctors informed us that he died.
The grieving family members also share their fond memories of Jaquan.
He was 2 days old, so growing up he was okay. And you know, when teenagers, when they get bigger, they feel like they're bigger than you and you cannot talk to them and what's not. But Jaquan get in an accident with the Backers. Remember when they at Annisville, when the truck, he was in it too. Yes. And after he get in it, we sit and we talk. And Jaquan, I said, you have to change up your life. And he really did come in around, if I tell you. Sometimes when I dress, he's gonna say, Auntie, but you look good in that kind of stuff that you have on. When I put my wig on my head, he gonna say, Auntie, and I say, wig not good. Sometimes I say, shut up. And he go come and he's trying to fix it. I just say, leave me alone. And I speak to Jaquan. Jaquan come and he tell me, he said, Auntie, I want to go to Canada to pick fruits. And I said to Jaquan, Jaquan, we're going to see what we can do, but to go to those places, you have to have the finance so that you can go. And he go at the airport to get an interview because he was really want to get on a job. And he go and he do barbering. He learned to do that.
A post-mortem examination is expected to be conducted on his body to determine the exact cause of death. In other news now, participants of the second cohort of the Public Health Emergency Response Systems Enhancement Project commenced training on Monday at the Seventh-day Adventist Church at Block 2000. The 5-day workshop is being funded by the government of the Republic of China and Taiwan in conjunction with the McKay Memorial Hospital in Taiwan and the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment. The sessions seek to collaboratively train a number of health professionals, the police, fire and Coast Guard services, as well as the National Emergency Management Organizations, Red Cross and cadets, and prison personnel. Director of the Health Security, Donna Bascom, expressed appreciation to Taiwan's Ambassador Peter Shiley Lan and his team, along with the McKay Hospital and the government of Taiwan for their continued support. Bascom explained that the mission of the project includes basic life support training, advanced cardiac life support training to clinical and non-clinical staff, mass casualty training, and procurement of training and emergency response equipment for accident and emergency and fire services. The Health Security Director urged participants to continue to learn and grow in an effort to build a strong national emergency response system.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are many we meet who are just passing through, and then there are a few who stay to pull us through. Thank you for staying in Taiwan. Thank you for staying in Taiwan. I want to also use this opportunity to share the big picture, to put things in perspective and context a bit. In SVG, we do not have emergency medical technicians nor paramedics. So first medical responders are our doctors and nurses from our emergency rooms. More often than not, they respond on the ambulance call and then they have to continue the care at the health facility. As you can recognize and appreciate, this is not optimal. However, in the next few years, as we continue to build the capacity, as we continue to complete this and other contributing projects, imagine with me an efficient emergency medical response system where you dial 911 and you are channeled to the appropriate service, be it medical, fire, or police. Imagine with me a cadre of highly trained EMTs and an efficient ambulance service. Imagine with me persons trained in basic life support, pre-hospital care, mass casualty management through the length and breadth of St. Vincent. And now, imagine with me that it's you or me who require emergency medical help. I say that to say, we all have a responsibility to ensure we continue to learn, continue to grow, and continue to build a sound national emergency response system.
Taiwan's ambassador, His Excellency Peter Shine-Leland, noted that this project is centered around life and death. Therefore, it is an important undertaking.
Saving possibly in all the critical situations the lives of fellow Vincentians. So it is a very big mission. You should give yourself a big round of applause for participating in this. Secondly, as I know, we have sent instructors, seat instructors, went to Taiwan for their training. And as far as I understand, this workshop is the first one that will be conducted purely by our seat instructors that was trained in Taiwan, which means we are on a road, as Dr. Donna just mentioned, we are in the road of planning the seats of our local capacities in terms of emergency response. We now have our own instructors, we have our own participants, so if in the future any Vincentians encounter critical situations, they will be in the good hand of you. And we thank you for participating.
The Public Health Emergency Response Enhancement Project began in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in November of 2022. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Cooperative Credit Union Limited today launched its year-long activities to commemorate its 45th anniversary under the theme 45 Years, Continuity, Stability and Sustainability for All Vincentians. The activities commenced today with awards being presented to all the media houses in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, including St. Vincent and the Grenadines Broadcasting Corporation. 2 special awards were also handed out to journalists from the News newspaper, Desmarais Greenery, Thomas and Williams Kojo Anthony of the Vincentian newspaper. Speaking at the anniversary celebration event, chairperson of the Teachers Cooperative Credit Union 45th Anniversary Committee, Doris Charles, outlined the other activities, which include a church service to be held on May 3rd.
Day would be May the 24th. At the end of May, we will also be having the opening of our Chateaubriand branch of the credit union, so look out for information and invitation to that event. We will also be having a bus shed in that area as well that would be constructed and or refurbished. So the bus shed in Chateaubelair as well as the Chateaubelair branch would be open in May, at the end of May this year. Our 45th anniversary Saver newsletter will also be circulated for your viewing. There will also be a tree planting exercise under the theme which would be focused, that is World Environmental Day. They have a theme that will be focused on finding solutions to plastic pollution. We have 400 million tons, the statistics show that, 400 million tons of plastic that is produced every year. So the focus would be on that. And here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, your credit union of choice will be commemorating that event with a tree planting exercise.
President of the Teachers Cooperative Credit Union Limited celebrates Board of Directors Miriam Roach said that with the challenges faced over the last 2 years, the 45th anniversary milestone is worth commemorating.
For us, this milestone deserves commemoration, not only to mark the years of existence or highlight what we have accomplished thus far, but especially because we are able to exhale liberally after the travails of the last few years. We have successfully navigated through a period wrought by natural disasters, including hurricanes and the eruption of the La Soufrière volcano, the COVID-19 pandemic and its attendant difficulties, and so we now have all the more reasons to celebrate. This year's celebration seeks to highlight our achievements and our contributions to the development of our members, the general public, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Where possible, we will continue to find tangible ways to give back to our communities and our loyal supporters. The program will be reflective of 45 incredible years of service and is aptly commemorated under the theme 45 years, continuity, stability, and sustainability for all Vincentians.
Reflecting on the journey of the credit union, CEO Jasmine Huggins spoke of the extensive expansion to their programs and services. She further announced that an online service where persons can purchase books and other supplies using the platform.
I implore all members to establish a retirement savings plan account and parents to start saving for their children's future. Our products and services include the supplies outlet and the scholarship and bursary program. Our bookshop/supplies outlet commenced operations in 1993 just to provide school books for members. The service, which began in the back room of the former headquarters, has grown into a full-fledged supplies outlet. Offering books and office supplies. The supplies outlet is available at each branch of the credit union. Over the years, the sale of books has been decentralized to other geographical locations such as Chateaubelair, Sandy Bay, Georgetown, and Mesopotamia, using satellite services. The decentralization of this service brings the product to the people. They are convenient layaway plans. They provide printing and copying services and have recently included laminating, shredding, and binding of documents. Very soon, the supplies outlet will roll out its online service where persons can purchase their books and other supplies online from the comfort of their homes.
Farmers lined up at the Lacwa Agriculture Station last Thursday and Friday to receive urea under Phase 2 of the distribution program by the Ministry of Agriculture. 5,000 sacks of urea were donated to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines by the Venezuela last year. Speaking at the distribution at Lacqua Agriculture Station, Minister of Agriculture Subota Caesar encouraged farmers to put the urea to good use.
Farmers to utilize the urea that they have, that they will be, well, the urea that they have and the urea that they will be receiving. And remember that the Ministry of Agriculture, we took the time out to advise you how to utilize the urea. There are some persons who are in the process of expanding their production, and there is a farm labor assistance program which is currently taking place in the ministry. So I don't want persons to say, well, I am not taking any urea today because my lands are not cleaned as yet. Well, remember, by the time you finish cleaning your lands, then the urea may be gone. So please take the urea and store the urea. We explained from the technical level how this is to be done, and I want to wish all the farmers all the very best.
Commending the farmers in the Mariaqua and surrounding areas for their hard work, Minister Caesar said that the country is now able to increase production of dasheen to address export demand to the United States.
Mariaqua Valley today, you can certainly see the results of the hard work, dedication, and steadfastness of the farmers of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and particularly in this area. We had excellent results thus far, and we were able to increase the production of dasheen to address the demand that we now have to export dasheen to the United States of America. I want to also note that in the next 2 weeks we will be receiving fertilizer from Morocco. We distributed last week 2,000 sacks, and we're expected to get approximately 5,000 sacks of fertilizer coming into the country.
Minister of Agriculture Subota Caesar is currently in Vietnam for a One Planet Network's 4th Global Conference on Sustainable Food Systems program. The 3-day conference, which convened on Monday, April 24th, will focus on the transformation needed to enable food supply systems to overcome the overlapping and interrelated crises globally. Until the end of the week, stakeholders from diverse regions will discuss building sustainable, resilient, healthy, and inclusive agri-food systems. The meeting was jointly organized by the United Nations Environment Program in conjunction with other governmental and civil society organizations, including the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock of Costa Rica. Apart from the conference, multilateral discussions are taking place. Minister Caesar and colleague ministers from several continents met on Monday with Prime Minister of Vietnam to dialogue on food production systems. The One Planet Network is a global community of practitioners, public policy makers, and experts, including representatives of government, businesses, civil society, academia, and international organizations which promote sustainable production and consumption. Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, Ricardo Adams, is encouraging persons who have ideas to further develop the Vincimas product to reach out to the CDC. Adams was addressing a news conference on Monday in which a comprehensive update of Vincimas 2023 was provided.
There are a lot of brilliant Vincentians with wonderful ideas. There are a lot of experts on Vincimas in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. If you have a wonderful idea that you want to share with the CDC, reach out to the CDC. If you have a wonderful idea on which you want likes and shares, then put it on social media. And I think if you genuinely want to effect change, if you genuinely have good ideas that you want to get, the CDC is always ready and willing to listen. But we are not going to be going on social media hunting or on the media, for any one of the media, hunting for people who throwing ideas out there and trying to say, well, you know, this is my great idea and CDC would never adopt it. So that CDC would then come to try to adopt it for you to then say, well, you see, this was my great idea that CDC didn't want to adopt, but I forced them to adopt it because I went on social media. We don't operate that way. I don't think there's any serious business that operates that way. So I'm saying, if you have great ideas, bring them to us. We welcome to embrace all of that. Because we don't pretend again to have all the brains and all the knowledge of what is VinCMAS and what can be VinCMAS. But we are charged with the difficult position of trying to ensure that VinCMAS continues to grow within the limited budget that we still have, which we're fighting to increase all the time. But we believe that this year, if all goes well, we can have a fantastic VinCMAS with a lot of people coming home and a lot of people coming to understand and enjoy the energy of VinCMAS. And that is why I implore all of you, call your friends, call your neighbors, send out the post. When you cussing me, put the dates for VinCMAS on it one time.
Speaking on the PAN component of the festival, representative of the YOLO PAN movement, Rodney Small, said there is increased enthusiasm for the steel pan art form throughout the country, noting that they are confident that they will see an increase in crowds on Junior Panorama and Steel and Glitter.
Being long-standing recognition and agreement in all quarters that the steel pan is important to Vincent culture, it is further undisputed that the steel pan industry is a vital component of VinCMAS. The YOLO PAN movement has been hosting a series of events and activities to help with the awareness, not only for the art form, but to create some economic activities for our member bands and our players. These events are geared towards building a larger fan base and clientele for our Super Bowl events, Junior Panorama and Steel and Glitter. On Sunday, May 28th, we will host our annual Panorama launch at the Victoria Park lawn from 8 p.m. Ivory Soiree is the ultimate all-white steel pan fete, featuring all of the top steel orchestras in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, table and bar services, trendy decor, a set design like no other, guest performances by top DJs, artists, fire eaters, rhythm sections, and our sister component, the Carnival Bands Incorporated, featuring mass. There will be a venue transformation along with giveaways and tokens from the YOLO PAN movement. Patrons can win tickets to Junior Panorama and Steel and Glitter at Ivory Soiree. Tickets will start at $30. The Panorama launch will kickstart our full marketing campaign for panoramas. Persons can follow our social media platforms at the YOLO PAN movement, pop-up steel pan performances at different locations throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, our vlogs, flyers, panyard nights where we go live from different panyards during their panorama rehearsals, and all our online media houses and ticket giveaways on some of your popular radio stations. We are confident that we will see an increase at the Victoria Park come July 2nd, Junior Panorama, and July 6th at Steel and Glitter.
Head of the Calypso Association, Earl Cabba Bennett, applauded the CDC for recognizing steel pan and Calypso. Bennett stressed that the support for Calypso is crucial and called on local and regional entities to support the art form.
We all know that Calypso has a long, storied history. It came to our shows, well, African folk parents. And because of that, we must value it. It has to be dear to our heart. We must not value Calypso in pure economic terms. We tend to do that. Calypso is part of us, and it must live on. And I applaud the CDC for ensuring that Carnival and Calypso live together. We speak about VinCMAS, and yes, VinCMAS, the 30th to 11th is the culmination of VinCMAS. VinCMAS this year, based on what I've heard, starts with the launch of Pertany. But the official CDC launch is on the 6th of May. What is the St. Vincent and Grenadines Calypso Association doing to ensure that this year will be a bumper year? Let me say from the outset that in Calypso, it is a labor of love, believe you me. Persons work and toil in the vineyard. At the end of the season, the bands get paid, everybody else get paid. But sometimes the Calypsonians are empty-handed. So I take this opportunity to invite all kind-hearted and well-meaning Vincentians, and even those who hear my voice internationally and regionally, support Calypso in whatever way you can. We operate from a standpoint, we don't have all the answers. There's no way that we can sit in a boardroom and believe that we have all the answers for Calypso. In St. Vincent and Grenadines, we don't. So we are inviting persons. You have any suggestions? Who know me? Bring them to me. Who know any other Calypsonian, any other administrator? Give them it. We can only be better for your input.